Good morning, good morning, good morning. So, we're about to get started here and find some good opportunities to work on and just see how far that's going to get us. I need to check who's online and to see who can do a mic check for us and advise if the sound is fine. If you guys can drop a text on our if you can drop a text on the chat site there, just confirm that you can hear us and everything is working out. Okay, so okay, let me just there we go. So you will be taking a look at what's happening with the markets. And just a quick update now. Before we actually start, I want to look at gold. So this is the analysis we took yesterday from gold, and there we go. Let's take a look. So we will be taking a look at what's happening with the markets. Some people got the 1 to 5 or 1 to 3 of the short trade. Let me just zoom here quickly. It was this point here. Some people waited for it to go up first and then tank, which it didn't. And some people just had a sell limit, which worked out quite proper. So you found that price went up, hit the entry point, dropped. And then this is where the 1, 2, 3s were taken based on, just going to show you quickly, the third tier of idea that we had. Now, the third tier of idea was, sorry about that, right here. So I'm just going to drag this just to give you guys an idea of what happened. And then here's the 1, 2, 3 right there, which is where price turned. So if you missed the trade, that's fine. There'll still be plenty more to get. So there is also still a potential area to get in on a sell with gold. We're just going to take a look at the same analysis we had yesterday. So I'm just going to drop these arrows. So clearly now we're working with the short. So let me remove these as well. So if you missed the trade, that's fine. There'll still be plenty more to get. So there is also still a potential. There we go. Just hold on for a second. We're just going to take a look at the same analysis we had yesterday. So I'm just going to drop these arrows. So clearly now we're working with the short. So let me remove these as well. There we go. Just hold on for a second. There we go. There we go. So looking at gold here, I was saying that we could potentially go down with it again. Looking at this 30 off that we looked at yesterday, but I see it already dropped. So it'll be a bit of a challenge to find a nice neat entry, but we'll have to look at something like that. Look at this massive imbalance. Okay, let's go to the daily and try to take a look at what's happening on the daily. There we go. So look at that massive wick. Oof. So it's been working up and closing this massive imbalance here, which it did. There's still one at the top, and then there's still some double highs at the top there. So it doesn't mean that it'll stop going up on the daily, but we will not be looking at that. So, but what we can see is the trend line is still holding. So eventually it will have to be broken. So that is something we can be pretty sure about. Oh, and I wanted to check the economic calendar here to see what's coming up today. Now we don't do oil, so we are good. Good to go, good to go. Okay. Dropping down to the 4 hour. All the zones are still valid. We just have a new zone here now, which is this imbalance here on the 4 hour. Still an area of liquidity here at the bottom. It broke and took out all the orders that were here at the top of this on the lower time frames. Yeah, so we should expect it to either come down to the middle, continue going up, grabbing a bit of that imbalance, or go down completely, breaking these zones. Okay, so let me just remove that. This was the first tee off. Okay, that's where we are. Okay, so we're going to drop down to the 1 hour. So this will now be our first tee off. And I'll move this aside here. Okay, so this is where we are on the 1 hour. You can see there's still a lot of groundwork that this pair has to cover. So it's closing down this one here. And it created some liquidity at the top here. There's some liquidity at the top there. And then okay. So there's some orders here, a lot of stops. And then in that process, there's this that's happening here. So we should expect this area to be taken pretty soon. Okay, now we're dropping into the 15-minute, of course. It's covering this area here. It created some imbalance on this drop down here. There we go, somewhere here. This is on the 15-minute. Okay, so I kind of have an idea of what we're working with now. There's an area here at the bottom. There's definitely some orders there. It just took out these now. Okay, those. So on the 15-minute, I'm expecting price to actually, see it's closing out this area, to come back, close the zone, either come take these orders and then come back down. How far? We don't know. But that's the premise of the idea that we'll be working on. Okay. Okay, let me take a look at this. Okay, good. So it's safe to say we will wait for price to come back into this area, grab some of these orders first, and then as it comes back down, we will definitely get in on that position. So on the 1 minute, look at that, beautiful. On the 1 minute, let's see this, look at that. Oh, look at that. And then on this way down, there's grabbed all these orders that are laying below here. All of them were grabbed. And look at that. So let's see, let's just say, let's go back up to about that. Let's go to this low here. So you could also look at a potential sell from this point here. From this area here, you could look at a sell. But I wouldn't. I would want it to be taken at the top first before dropping down. Okay. So this is our gold idea. We wanted to come and take all these. There's a lot of nice orders that's just laying out around here. And a lot of imbalances. If you were to zoom in, you'd see some imbalances here. Here. So we're going to look at something like this. Okay. Scroll back to the 1 hour. Look at that massive balance that's been closed. Okay, so this is where we are. We will watch price and see what it does, and then trade accordingly from that. Okay. So sorry about that. Just want to move this first tee off area here. And then let me actually use a 1 hour. You'll be able to see it much clearer. Okay. Add a bit of space on the SL range. Add price. Add price. And then 1, 2, 3, of course. Just use this. One, 2, 3. One to 5. It would not be a good idea to sell now, because you'll be trying to chase a trade, which we do not attempt to do. Still some orders at the top there, so if it's gone, it's gone, good people. If it's gone, it's gone. And then 1 to 8 there. And then beyond 10, like we spoke of, that'll be a nice thing to happen. But we should be grabbing these orders here. So even a potential reversal halfway in this imbalance would be good. And then still an area here. But once it does break this trend line, I think that'll be a good point to start looking at leaving 10% on the trade. But until then, we'll just keep watching it. So to end up looking at a little something like this. something like this. Okay, so just gonna put an alert just to be alerted right before price gets up there, so I can see what will be happening. So we could potentially see a trend line being formed, orders being created at the bottom, and then broken again. So that's what we could potentially see. There we go. And then let me just drop it onto our channel here. Drop it onto the free channel as well. There we go. Okay, so that's the first trade idea. So today we're going to try something a little different, and see how far it gets us. So we're pushing the majors first, and then move from there, because we only have an hour to do this. Okay, AJ, let's go to the top. AUD/USD, let's open that one. There we go. And get this massive imbalance. So our trade idea would still be valid, but now the stop would be too high. So I would be very careful before placing that trade. Very, very careful. But you can see this massive imbalance that needs to be sorted here. Okay, let me just do that. I would be very careful before I place that trade. Okay. But it's still valid. Broke this trend line here. Some people took their 1 to 5s here, came back up, tested this area at the top here, and then I see now it's trying to go down. Let's get into the daily and just take a look at what's happening on the daily. Okay, so it's at a very nice area of interest. Very nice area. Okay, let me just move this. Okay, there we go. So we've got this area here, but we're not gonna go back. Let's just focus on this area. Remember, we are trading in the day. Okay, and then we've got this area here. And then we've got this imbalance here that was basically filled, but not all of it. That we're gonna leave out for now. Okay, so those are the daily zones, and then we're gonna go down to the 4-hour zones, and then this is where we are on the 4-hour. Okay, so you can see this nice range here that it's operating in. We've got this imbalance here that is probably trying to be filled on the 4-hour. Let me actually rename this. 4-hour imbalance. Okay, I'm just gonna put a IM here. Okay, so we've got this imbalance here. Probably going to be filled. Okay, we saw these highs here. Okay. And then I see there's a sensitive area right here, somewhere there. Okay, I'm gonna drop down to the 1 hour now. Okay, ideally here I'd want to get in, but I'd probably want to get in a bit higher than where it is right now, so I can get a better stop loss. But we can drop down into the smaller time frames to get a better position. Okay, so this is where we are. These lows have to be taken at some point. Okay, so it turned right at the sensitive area. Right here, that's where it turned. So it didn't bother to go up and grab some of these highs, which I think it will do, probably in the London, and then we'll see how that goes. Okay. This is where we are. So with this pair, like I just mentioned now, I need price to go up first. And then once it does, I would potentially think about getting in. But until then, we're just going to watch it. Okay. This is a pretty good area to enter at. But now the stop losses, it's just not good at all. So I'd say we'll wait for price to go somewhere up there. Even here would work just below that. Right there. With this, I could consider this trade and take it from there. Okay. London session in 30 minutes. Okay, so this is the idea we're looking at. Drop down to the 1 to 3. If price does pull back to that area, I will probably also get a better SL range, and we'll take it from there. And I think as well, if you're watching this, you'd want to double check to see if your area is good or not. There we go. So if we could get a better SL range, and then would be fine. So price could just keep climbing, and as it keeps climbing, we keep adjusting our entry point. And then once it hits those areas, then we start looking on whether we're gonna sell stop or we're just gonna let it go. So those are some important things to look at. I mean, if we get something like that, then for a nice range to work with. And remember, we're only going for 3, 5, 8, 10. And once your target hits, your 3 hits, you want to adjust your stop to either entry or to RR1. And then as it keeps going up to 4, you put RR2, 5 RR3, 6 RR4, 7 RR5, and then 8 RR6. And then I'll probably leave it at that, and then let it swing a bit before taking you out. So those are very, very important elements to look at. Okay. So for now, this is what we have for now. Take a screenshot. Okay, I'm going to take it from the top. There we go. And then I'm going to drop it onto our channel, VIP channel first, and then the free channel. Okay. I don't know why it does it sometimes. It doesn't want to paste this thing. So okay, if this doesn't work, then that's a bummer. Oh, it doesn't seem to work. I had this issue yesterday. Okay, but it's fine. Let me put an alert here. As price goes up, I'll just be alerted to just keep an eye on it and watch it from there. And then the next pair, let's go for, I'm going at random here, guys, so don't mind me, but I want the majors. Let's take a look at the Euro USD. Came back down again from yesterday's entry points. So from this pair alone, if you focused on it yesterday, you'd have really got well, that's if you can even trade the whole night, because I don't think I'd count this. I mean, would you be awake from Tokyo all the way up through London, through New York, through Tokyo again, pre-London? I don't think you'd be trading that much. That would be over trading. Okay. So with this pair, we noted. Just remove that. Go back to the daily. We noted this happening yesterday. I'm still sell bias on this one, but then again, there's this level here which was taken yesterday. This is level which was taken. There's this one here, this order block, which will potentially be taken, but I'm sell bias. I mean, look at all this liquidity laying around here. And then what it did as well, look at this liquidity here in this level. Can you see that? Liquidity here. And then we've got some laying here, some laying here. And on the top now, there was some liquidity created. And it was just taken out just now, actually. So if you drop down to the 4 hour, just make it bigger. You'd see more liquidity areas. And then there's also another sensitivity zone right here. So I can actually extend this. Sensitive area right here. Okay, so this is what we have on the 4 hour. So we see this trend line, and then we see this range that is broken into. And then, well, first was this orders that were created above these levels, and then it took them out, created a bit of a range, creating liquidity at the top, liquidity at the bottom. So we should expect price to break up, go down. If not that, we will expect a break down, go up. So we'll be waiting for one of the breaks to go. But I am for the sell break. So what I'll do is wait for the break above, grab all those orders, have a stop that will be determined by that break. A tight stop would be much appreciated. And then once that happens, we're going to go for this liquidity area here as well. right here, and then all the orders that are laying down here. So now if you go to the 1 hour, you're going to see a better view of what's happening. Get all these areas here. Okay, so we want that to be broken and probably potentially go for this high, but we want it to be broken. So for now, that's the reference point we're going to use. So that's where we'll be watching it from. And then go for your 1, 2, 3s and so forth. I think once this trade is ready, ripe and ready, then we will take a good look and go for it, go focus on it. Okay, and then let's go take a look at the GU. Daily time frame. I don't like messy areas. I do not like messy areas. But you can see it went for that high there. Did it touch it? Nope. The auto block. Nope. Okay. And I don't like long wicks. But then again, it's the market. You're not supposed to like it. Man, I missed this one big time. big time. This was done yesterday, so this is a 1 to 10 completely hit. Literally. Missed that trade. Oh, but look at that massive auto block there and the Tokyo that was created. Triggered here. Well, for those that actually took the trade. But then again, you will miss some and you will get some. This is clearly one of those that we missed. Breaking this massive trend line. And I'm not sure if I posted on one of the Forex channels, but yeah. Okay, so with this one, I mean the move already happened, so you can just skip. Okay, and then the next, this is the area I was expecting it to go to, but yeah, okay. NU, what's happening with the NU? I see now it's at an area of interest. Yep. But now I think with this pay, we could potentially hit midway here. Potentially. Not saying we will. We could. And we could also potentially hit this auto block here. In that process, creating a lot of liquidity below. That's what could happen. I'm not saying it would. Could happen. And then we've got this area here where there's some liquidity. It grabbed this liquidity at the top. Let's drop down to the 4 hour. Okay. Looking at the 4 hour, this is where we are. Broke this trend line here. Okay. I'm still waiting for it to come and grab this, which it would soon. So with this pay, I'd look at a short just above this, halfway through this imbalance. Going to grab these lows, breaking the trend line, potentially going for these lows as well. So this is a potential trade, and that'll be the first tee off. That'll be the first tee off, of course. And then the second tee off would be at this area here. So what I'll do is wait for price to get to these zones, and then after getting to these zones, I'd put sell stops, and then if it continues going higher, I'd wait for it to get to this level as well, targeting the same area, sell stops as well. That'll be the second tee off. Yep, that'll be the second tee off. And then the third tee off would be at that major level. That's if it doesn't even break these zones here, because there is a reason for price to come down. There is a nice reason for price to come down. And that's grabbing these the daily zones that are at the top there. So we're not going to look at that. I'm going to focus on these areas here. Okay, so this is where we are. And for some people, they'd be seeing a channel here. They'll be seeing a channel here. Can you see that? Or is it just me? Something like that. Okay, so let's go into price a bit more. Can you see it forming this these areas here? As soon as I'm done here, I will forward the positions into the channel, to the channels, of course, and then yeah, we'll see how it goes. But it's forming some liquidity here, so we should expect something like this, and then grab that, drop all the way down. So that's the idea. We could also expect for price to go up first and then drop down, and then filling out all these imbalances here. Okay. Okay, so this is what we have for NU. And then gold, we did gold. And then let's go for the UCAD. Actually, there's a lot of USD pairs here, but yeah. This was taken the other day, and it's pretty smooth. 1 to 6. Okay. So let's start on the daily. See where price is on the daily. So just from this alone, just from taking a look at this, I am looking at a buy on the smallest time frames. Okay, so we've got this area here. Now I don't ignore the wicks. This area here is a bit, yeah. Okay, let's just go back and focus on this area here actually. Let's leave out that area there. Doesn't mean it's invalid. We're just going to be looking at a very, very zoomed in area. So from this look alone, I'm already looking at a buy. Where I'm going to get the buy, that's where smaller time frames come in. 4 hours. Okay, 4 hours here. There we are. You can see this nice range here in the file. So what price is most probably going to do, because it's creating all these lows here. So we can actually drop this key zone to just here. Beautiful. Fit properly. And then I need to move this a bit. But okay, let's just leave that for now. But this area we must not ignore. Okay, so what I want to see, there's a sensitive area here. Okay, so what I would want to see, price will probably turn here before going up, but I wanted to come and grab these lows first. And by grabbing the lows is I really wanted to drop. Let me just open this. To drop and then come back up to this area. Why do you want to see that? Because of these lows. Okay, because of these. We could also see price coming back here, testing this support and then going back up to eventually come and take it. So that's what we are working on. So this is actually a trade idea I'm going to be focused on until it happens. Then I'm going to put my alert in this zone here. And then I'm not sure if you guys can see this as well, but look at that. Can you just put it there? Okay. And I'm going to drop down to the 1 hour. Okay, dropping down on the 1 hour, you can see some zones being created here, some liquidity being created. Just below here, look at this trend line here. We see some pretty good zones are being created in some sensitive areas here. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. We really want price to drop, grab some of these lows, and then give us a good run for money. Potentially go for these highs as well. I don't know why it would not go up there, but it's because we're not going up there. We're looking at this area here. So I'm going to drop this target area to this level here. So that's what it'll be looking at. And this alert a little bit higher. I mean, if I'm playing some Call of Duty, I need to be able to take a nice walk to the charts, or to run, come bolt or something. Anyway, there we go. So that's the idea we're looking at for the UCAD. Let's see if this is gonna work. There we go. There we go. I think I was trying to post the NU. Let's see if the NU is gonna work. So these are going to the free channels because they're already on YouTube, so they're very free. There we go. Now it doesn't want to copy. I don't know why it does that, Huh. It's a bit moody. But anyway, I'll do it after the trading session if it continues doing this. Okay. Anyway, UCAD we're done, and then yes, and so that's actually the unfortunate truth about the market. Sometimes the areas will be hit, and sometimes they won't. And for you to wait for it to be broken first and then get in, it's the safest way to look at it. But now, if you already had a good run on a few trades, then you can actually put some limit orders, which will probably lose most of the time. But if they do win, then you have more opportunity to take some wins. So that's the thing with the market. It's very indecisive. So you can choose to be aggressive, or you can choose not to be aggressive. So I'd say, I mean, for somebody who's learning how to trade like this, rather be safe. And then once you get the hang of it, and you can see how price behaves, then you'll be good. And what you can do as well is to have alerts placed right before the entry zones, and then you can actually watch what price does before. So if it does hit a zone and then immediately turns, you can put an execution, a market execution, and then if it hits and then passes the zone, you can wait to see where it's going to go, and then either adjust your sell stops or buy stops according to what price is doing, which will actually give you a better SL range than leaving the enterprise where it would be. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, and then I think that's it for now. I will be looking at the other pairs, and then I'm going to post them into the private group and into the free group, some of them into the free. So for now, that's where we are. That's what we've looked at pre-London. London is opening just now, and then we'll see how that goes. I don't know why I don't have an alert here. There we go. So, any other questions? Okay, I'm going to go back now to the beginning. If there are any other questions, just drop them before I end the stream. Awesome. So, something else that you can take with you is, you don't really have to take all the trades, but say for example, there's a simple one, or a trade that looks, I wouldn't say easy, but potentially you can get some good wins out of it. What you can do is just look at that trade, but in the lower time frames. So you just talk it basically. Like gold. I mean, gold looks like a potential sell. I mean, if it does take these highs, we're gonna look at a very nice drop. So let me go back to the 15-minute on gold, and then you can just talk that price. I mean, one of your trades hits a 125 or a 128, then you are good for the day. You can ignore the rest. That's how you can look at it. Or you can just let one hit a 125 and then take some of the profits from that trade. Say for example, if you hit a 125 and it gave you a 2% gain, then you know that you can take 0.5%, split it into 3 trades, giving you 0.1, not even 3, into 5 trades, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1% of your account, and then placing it on all the other ideas. So leaving 1.5% on the table, and then risking the 0.5. Okay, see, gold is, I don't know why it's giving me an alert, because, oh, my bad, I had an alert here. So I'm watching gold now. I'm going to watch it past this level as well, and then we'll take it from there. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Cheers, guys. Enjoy your trades, and let's see how much we can get today. Remember to manage your risk properly as well. Any questions or anything, drop them on our email, drop on our Instagram, Telegram, and yeah, we'll answer them.